Now, hey, what's happening, everyone? I'm SirJames coming at you guys with another video, and today I'm here to give you guys another haul video. The last time I did one of these was when I was over at Frank & Sons, where I got to enjoy at least half a day there just to have a fun-filled day, especially where I got that really nice deal on that Sideshow Scout Trooper and, of course, the Speeder Bike combo. Still one of my favorite pieces in the collection. You can't really see him because he's up here out of frame currently. And ever since that day, it really hit me to the point where, like, I really want to get part of a collection that I was never able to acquire back when these pieces originally came out, just because at the time where I was in life, I had mostly a part-time job. I didn't have multiple jobs like I do now, and YouTube was, I was earning a couple bucks here and there type thing, nothing too crazy. And YouTube's still not my main job. It's more of a side gig where I do earn a bit of money, but I mostly like to provide some videos and entertain a lot of you guys. It's pretty much why I do these type of things. And so I wanted to set off on the journey, which is why I kind of eased up on some of the custom lightsabers. I mean, I still get a few here and there, but the reason why I haven't been heavily invested into them at the moment was to try to build this collection that I never got to have at the time. Now, do keep in mind that the majority of the things that I'm going to be showing in today's video, you're mostly going to find on the secondhand market. You're not going to find it on like a main official website, and whether or not you could find these for good deals, it's going to be kind of up in the air type thing, which is why I won't be providing prices, except for the first two items, give or take. And, oh, hey, here you are. Speaking of one of the things that you can find and still available and not too bad of a price is the Child over here. I think this is by Hasbro. I was actually over at Target, you know how to get my daily supply of Cheez-Its, if you will. And I went over to the toy section because I saw people posting on Facebook some new Star Wars figures that were released, the little smaller scale figures, of course. And I saw that one of them actually had the Luke and the Stormtrooper disguise. Wanted to see if my Target actually restocked anything, which they never do as far as toys go during the pandemic, of course. And fortunately, nothing. I looked on the bottom. I saw they had the Child. That's actually the first time I've seen the Child plush figure, if you will, available anywhere, actually. And so I definitely took a closer look, and I was actually pretty surprised with how nice it was. It was $25. It's got a nice soft, for the most part, body. Just got a flat bottom here. It's like a little sandbag type thing to try to stand them up, though you kind of balance them because of the head and the ears and whatnot. And yes, I'm sure someone will leave a comment, oh, his ears look like yours, or you have his ears. Yes, I know. I got large ears. Grow up. Yeah, anyways, I thought this was a nice figure. It looks great. I really like how the eyes look too, because you got that really nice glare to it, so you could kind of see your reflection. Which, by the way, if I appear out of focus, that's because the camera's set up to where anything in front of it should mostly focus on this rather than me, so that way it's easier to showcase these items. Otherwise, I'd have to do this and hide my face throughout this entire video, which will be annoying. And one of the things I was actually going to be doing too is that I do have plans on getting a Scout Trooper cosplay, and the cosplay for the troopers are actually going to be weathered up kind of like how they appear in The Mandalorian. And I thought it would be kind of cool to not only be a Scout Trooper, but also to kind of have it to where I also got the satchel with the Child in it. And so that's what I'm going for. So I figured this will be great to go with that cosplay. All I need is the satchel, and the outfit is not in the works just yet, but maybe in less than a year or so I should have me in the full suit and everything ready to go. And hopefully maybe by next year some conventions will be available, and maybe magazines and whatnot. So we'll see how that goes. But like I said, that's one of the items that I got. Put him down here. The second item that I got, which is also widely available, and probably the cheapest one out of everything here, it's a poster. I know there's a lot of you that are fans of Ahsoka and Darth Vader, or Ahsoka with Darth Vader, and there's a Comic-Con exclusive poster by what was it called? Shop Trends, I think was the name of it. I'll put a link to the website down below, but they had this really cool poster. It's actually the same website that I got this Mandalorian poster from. That's a numbered exclusive, I think out of 300, even signed. But that's where I got that one from too, which you can find links down below too. But I did order the Ahsoka with the Darth Vader. Should be in about less than a couple weeks or so, give or take. Usually not too bad of a wait time. It's in the States, and that way I could kind of change up the Mandalorian poster here. I like to be able to provide some different backdrops and kind of change and move stuff around, so it's not the same all the time, you know, just to kind of change it up, make it feel a little bit different, maybe a little Easter egg here and there, if you will. So let's go ahead and get to figure number 1, which is Clone Commander Neyo. I'm actually going to use this PLA pull here to put the figures on top to make it easier for you guys to see. So there is Clone Commander Neyo. I don't know too much about this particular guy. I basically wanted to get him because I realized a lot of the clone figures that I have mostly have red in their armor. Some variation of their armor has red in it, whether it's a lot or very little. And I think I have now all the Sideshow figures with any trooper with red on their armor. That's an official release, nothing custom. But yeah, this guy here, again, I don't know too much about him. He's got a really cool, actually, helmet design here, and I'll put close-ups too, where it looks like it's kind of welded shut and whatnot. Pretty unique and different looking from most of the other clones. And he was from a scene in Star Wars Revenge of the Sith during Order 66, where I don't know which Jedi they killed, but him and another trooper were on the speeder bikes when they decided to slow, or once they got the orders, they basically fell back and then, of course, shot at the Jedi, killing her. But definitely a really nice figure. What's neat too is that this is actually the exclusive one, and what makes him exclusive is basically the base. That's really about it. The base is mostly white. It's got a logo on there and actually has the name Clone Commander Neyo, which is CC8826 91st Reconnaissance Corps. And it's kind of weird for exclusives to be like the base itself. I feel like the clone should come with a base like that by default, in my opinion. But definitely a really cool looking figure, well taken care of. And he's basically probably, out of the figures that I'm going to show in today's video, definitely the cheapest out of the bunch. So he's still widely available. You can find him secondhand for sure. Okay, put you off to the side here. Next up is everyone's favorite. Okay, maybe not everyone's favorite. I still have basically feelings towards this guy. Negative feelings, if you will. But wanted to get him regardless because I found him for such a good deal. Not too much more than what he cost, which I'm not going to be actually going over the pricings because these are going to vary. And because I got them for whatever deal that I got them for, that doesn't mean you're going to find them. You might find them cheaper, you might find them more. Who knows? But the next one, part of also the Military of Star Wars line from Sideshow, is Clone Commander Fox, which he is hiding over here. Another nicely well done figure by Sideshow, in my opinion. And you know, I know a lot of people kind of have feelings for Sideshow or Hot Toys and stuff like that, but I feel like Sideshow did a really good job with the Clone Wars lineup. They released quite a few figures for sure. And what I really like about these Military Star Wars packaging here is that when you open it up, it kind of has some information about the militaries of Star Wars on one side, and then it's got a bio information kind of in the dead center for the character, until they started to change the packaging, where instead of like the two setup like this, where it's just a single package, but they stopped providing that additional information, which kind of bummed me out. Now, some of you might be kind of curious, when did we ever see Clone Commander Fox here in the Phase 1 armor? We've seen him in the Phase 1 armor twice, as far as I'm aware. The first time was during the Star Wars Clone Wars movie, actually. I remember seeing that movie too on the big screen with my baby brother. Such a good time. It'd be kind of nice to see it back. I mean, I know the earlier seasons of Clone Wars, they don't, they haven't aged, or some kind of, I guess it depends on the episode, where it looks like some of the stuff hasn't aged as well compared to what we've got later in the seasons. They definitely improved dramatically over the course of the Clone Wars. But yeah, he was from the Clone Wars movie, where he was actually with a battalion of clones to rescue Padme from Zero the Hutt. And then another time was also involving the one of the Cad Bane episodes, which is the I believe it was the very last episode of season 1, which was the hostage crisis, where Cad Bane had a bunch of the Senates and stuff like that as hostages, and Commander Fox was actually there on the bridge with, again, another battalion of clones to arrest, but unfortunately that doesn't go as planned. And then I think the only other times we've seen Fox after that is in his Phase 2 armor, especially during a particular story arc involving Ahsoka and then eventually Fives. But really cool. And unfortunately they never made a Phase 2 variation of Commander Fox. I'm hoping one day they do. I mean, as much as I don't like that version of him, but just because of, again, what he ended up doing, but he's just following orders. I understand completely, but we knew, obviously, as far as the story goes for Star Wars, what had to happen. But still really neat. So hopefully maybe Hot Toys will do a Phase 2. So here's hoping. I'm hoping Hot Toys does ARC Trooper Jesse. That would be pretty neat. Next figure on the lineup, which I never knew much about this guy at all. Actually, I was just kind of browsing what clones came out, seeing what I may have missed out on. This guy I was never aware of. This is Clone Commander Ganch. Bring him up right there. First off, he looks sick. He looks awesome out of the sets here, just like the paint job here. What's cool too is that he's actually got 3 different choices for helmets, or not helmets, but like head choices. You got the Phase 1 helmet, you got the Phase 2 helmet, and he's also got a face sculpt as well. And I will say, which I'm not going to pull it out now, I'll probably save him for a review, but I will say, just looking at the face sculpt here, even though he is an older figure release, I would say the face sculpt still holds up today. There's a lot of figures that you look at face sculpts where they did not age well at all. But usually them with their helmets and armors and stuff like that, you know, those perfectly fine. I mean, there's no change in that. It's just always the face. But he's definitely aged pretty well in my opinion. What's pretty neat, even though fortunately we never got to have Star Wars Celebration this year, I do have a Star Wars Celebration sticker that was, I think he was an exclusive. I'm unsure, but he's actually got the exclusive base, which actually I forgot to read Fox. Commander Fox actually says Commander Fox CC 1010 Coruscant Guard. And then Ganch here is Commander Ganch, and he is, make sure his foot's not covering anything, CC 4572 of the 612th Attack Battalion. So that's where he is from. And when I was reading the, again, the bio information on the character that's in here in the center, I was actually quite surprised because I know he's part of the webcomic series for the Clone Wars, is that he was actually also involved with the Cad Bane story arc during the Holocron heist episodes. We never got to see him on screen or anything like that, but the reason why he was involved is, if you recall, during the Holocron heist, Cad Bane went to another system to capture a Jedi. The Jedi in question, let me get his name here, is Bala Rapal. And he was actually assigned to that Jedi, which was pretty cool. Unfortunately, his mission failed and Bala Rapal died because of Cad Bane. But it was actually quite shocking to hear that he was actually assigned to that particular Jedi. And then eventually he got moved around. Again, and so the information's here, but we'll save that for a review. So really cool. Again, I just really like the detail and the look of this particular character. And again, Sideshow, in my opinion, did a splendid job on this guy for sure. So if you can get him, or if you just had a choice, he's definitely worth picking up for sure. He hasn't been too bad in pricing that I've seen secondhand. Next up is actually not a clone. Let me bring him over here in a second, and that is from Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, or another Episode 3 character besides Neyo, is the dark side Anakin Skywalker. And let me light this bad boy up right here. So you got a really nice fancy base here, and he's been sitting back here the whole time. But here he is, dark side Anakin Skywalker. This guy is very, very sick looking. I remember when he came out, there was actually kind of this, I've noticed that the community basically were kind of, were a bit upset at this release because there was another version of Anakin that came out, and a lot of people were saying that the dark side head sculpt should have also came with the other Anakin, which in my opinion, I would probably say, yeah, I feel like they should have done that too, even if it affected the price a little bit, and then they could have done the separate one with the fancy base here for the dark side. But yeah, the only way to get this particular dark side head sculpt was to get the dark side Anakin Skywalker here. But if you wanted the other version where he doesn't have the dark side Sith looking eyes, and you also wanted the Count Dooku lightsaber that he had during his duel during the beginning portions of the film, then you would have to get the other Anakin. I will say that on the secondhand market, this guy here and the other variation of Anakin are definitely up there in price, but the good news is that there is a new Anakin Skywalker coming out, the Clone Wars variation by Hot Toys. He's available for pre-order and he doesn't release until 2022. Bit of a long wait, but if you kind of missed out on Anakin, or if you really want an Anakin figure, again, that's available for pre-order. I'm still undecided yet if I'm going to pre-order it, just because I got the dark side one here. And you know, if I do I want it with the vehicle that it comes with, or just the standard release? So I'm still kind of up in the air, but again, there's a lot of time between now and the year 2022, so I'm sure I'll have an answer probably within a year. So go ahead, put you back there and turn off the space here. Actually, what I've done is, because since I have Anakin over here, I actually have this up here with Darth Maul, and I put Darth Maul on top of this, and Darth Maul looks pretty epic with this particular stand here. Now, the other one that I have, which I technically don't have, but it's on the way, is a, what's the term, companion piece to go with Anakin. And what's the best companion piece to go with Darkseid Anakin? That is right, Padme being choked. I'm just kidding, that's not the one. It's actually Obi-Wan Kenobi. I have Obi-Wan, the deluxe version, where it comes with the hologram where, you know, Anakin's being dubbed as Darth Vader, and then it also comes with the little baby Luke and everything. So it won't be here for probably another couple weeks, give or take, but I can't wait till he shows up, and then I'll probably do like an unboxing and review for him. Now, the last two, and I'm still in shock that I actually now have these figures, because the next two are pretty much considered the holy grail of the Clone Wars lineup, just the clone figures in general by Sideshow, and that is, well, ARC Trooper 5s and Echo. Now, the reason why there isn't a box here is because the Echo figure, though it's complete with all the accessories and no issues with the figure, didn't have the original box. And now I know some collectors and stuff like that out there are really picky when it comes to that kind of thing. Me, not so much. I'm not really that picky. I'm not someone that's trying to get it in a pristine condition so I could flip it for a profit or anything like that. I'm just looking to get something to add to my collection. And if it's missing some things and the price is cheaper, but I could still get the figure for a good deal, then heck yes, I'm going to go for that bargain regardless. So let me bring the guys over here first and then go into more detail. So let's go ahead and bring a second one out here, and that should hopefully be good. And they've been back here the whole time, so you probably have noticed that as well. Here is the first one. This one is going to be Clone or ARC Trooper Echo. I'm not sure why I had Clone Commander stuck in my head for some reason. So there is ARC Trooper Echo. And we have ARC Trooper 5s. Hopefully that looks good enough right there. So, oh man. I can't tell you how excited I was to see these guys pop up on eBay and for the price that they were going for, because these guys on the secondhand market, they're not cheap. I think I saw an Echo pop up a couple times, sell for over 900. Actually, no, the second one sold for 1,000, and I've seen them new in box sell, again, very rarely for like over 1,200, 1,500. It's crazy to see what kind of money people spend for sure, but yeah, nowhere near anywhere that price point that I got. Now, the reason why I got these guys for the deal that I got them for, again, leave price out of it, is because, well, these aren't exactly how they come originally out of the box. These are indeed the original figures. It's not bootlegs or anything like that. These are the real deal, is because these are slightly altered. For the ARC Trooper Echo here, by default, with the launch of it, the helmet didn't really match up with the body too well. Like, the helmet was too clean while everything else was weathered. Like, it kind of had like a tone difference, and I noticed that also in people's reviews. And what the guy actually ended up doing, who had these previously, he actually weathered up the helmet to make the helmet match with the overall body itself, and he did a really good job in my opinion. As for fives here, there's definitely one or a couple little modifications here. Is that he specifically did this fives here to match up with the Umbara arc, which is definitely one of my favorite arcs from the Clone Wars series. And so what he did, besides the little bit of additional weathering job here, which again, great job. You guys know me, I like my figures weathered. Again, there are going to be some collectors out there that are upset because that happened. Again, this is something for me personally, is that this particular fives here doesn't have the original helmet that he would come with. Instead, this particular helmet is actually the helmet that he wears during the Umbara arc. And so basically what the guy did, and when I was reading the eBay description, is that he took the Phase 2 helmet from the shiny trooper, I think it was, and he basically did a custom paint job to match with the appearance, how he looks in the Umbara arc. He actually took the antenna to attach it on here as well. I think the antenna was a different color as far as the Umbara arc. I'll need to double check, and I could probably fix that out. But yeah, just everything matched up perfectly, regardless of not having the original helmet, and to go with a particular storyline. That was one of my favorite moments, especially for how Five stood up against, orders that were wrong, especially from General Krell. It's just really cool. I really like the piece in general, so I'm really stoked. Probably out of all these here, of fives in particular, but the fact that I have fives with ARC Trooper Echo, it's just mind-blowing, and I just can't believe I finally got those figures. Now, I'm hoping with Hot Toys releasing some figures and stuff like that, and especially how we had the Clone Wars Season 7, is I'm hoping that we actually get a ARC Trooper Jesse. Hopefully that comes out down the lineup here. And for me, there's some pre-orders that I have. I have the Commander Cody and the new Rex coming out. I have both variations of the Mandalorian, him in, his standard outfit that he was only in for an episode and a half or two, and then him in his full Beskar armor. And then what else? And then Qui-Gon Jinn was another one that I had pre-ordered, and I think that's about it at the moment. As for some of the other figures from the lineup that I would like to get that are just kind of hard to get right now just because pricing is just too crazy, is I would like to get a couple 501st Troopers to go with the ARC Troopers here. But again, the secondhand market, those ARC Troopers have gone up quite a bit in price. They're high in demand, just like these guys are. Clone Commander Bly, he's up there in price. Gree, I've seen Gree a few times. He's definitely not a sought-after figure, but hopefully maybe I'll add him to the collection while he is still in the lower price tag. And who else? There's also another one, the Bomb Squad Trooper. I definitely want to get him, but he's also gone up in price a bit too. He's a little bit harder to get, or I've seen him a few times. He's just up there in price. I haven't found one for a good deal, fortunately. There was one, but at the time there was something else. I know it was who was it? It was Fox. At the time I was gonna get the Bomb Squad Trooper, but then I saw this Fox appear. I'm like, I'm getting Fox. Yeah, like I said, it's just a matter of kind of being patient, see what kind of deals that you can find. If any of you were trying to start a collection of your own, if you look up the militaries of Star Wars, you could find some of the older figures, especially like the what we call them, the sand troopers and whatnot from the original trilogy. You can find those guys for relatively inexpensive pricing. Now, the last thing I want to mention is I know some of you are probably going to be asking, what's a good way to start collecting these, or a good place to start? It kind of depends on where exactly you do want to start. If you want to ensure that you're getting the retail price tag value of some of the Star Wars figures, in this case, if you go on to Sideshow.com, links also to that on the website, you could find some figures there. There's a few still available. I know they actually just added Princess Leia in the indoor outfits. And I think the Wicked's supposed to be releasing pretty soon as well. But I've noticed that on eBay, especially if you're looking for some of these older figures here, there are definitely a few out there for some really good deals, like the Militaries of Star Wars section. I've seen some of the who was it, the Sand Troopers and whatnot from the original trilogy for pretty low pricings too, for like under 200, which is not bad. I think the cheapest one as far as the Star Wars figures go would probably be related to the newer trilogy, depending on the figure, of course. Like, for example, the First Order, like with the troopers. Actually, you can't see because Ganch is over here blocking it. But the First Order troopers, they're not expensive. I've seen a few here and there sell new in box for as low as $80 to up to like 150, 130. So yeah, those guys are very inexpensive. Like, the only popular ones from the newer films is like Kylo Ren, for example. He's up there in price. Rey is also a little bit up there, and I know they got newer figures coming out. But if you're looking specifically for troopers to collect, again, First Order is not bad. Specific clone figures from the older lineups aren't too bad depending on which one, but again, there's a lot out there that are still up there in price. Who was it? There were a few other pieces that I wanted. I do want the specialist version of the Death Trooper. I know there's a new Death Trooper coming out from The Mandalorian, but there is, as far as the Death Trooper that was released, there was two variations. But the specialist version, I think, is the one that comes with that Stormtrooper doll thing that we've seen in Rogue One. Whichever one comes with the doll, that's the one that I want. Another trooper that I want to get too is the Shore Trooper, but that guy's also very expensive on the market. But anyways, just kind of wanted to show you guys a little bit of a haul video here. You know, I was looking forward to getting this all in one video rather than just having bits and pieces that I share here and there. But let me know what you guys think, and let me know, out of the stuff that I showcase in today's video, which one was your favorite? You know, whether it's a top favorite. If there's a tie for your top favorite, feel free to let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys on the next video upload. I should have a hilt coming in today as of this premiere, actually, since I'm recording this the day before, that I'm going to get installed. The Yoda one should be almost done. And then what's the other one? I'm trying to figure out. I should also be doing a review for Kanan's lightsaber. I know you guys were asking me about that one. And then I'm actually going to be getting a Saber Trio lightsaber. Not from the company directly, but someone was selling a lightsaber that is from Saber Trio. So I don't have to wait, you know, a couple months or so, however long the waiting process is. So I won't technically be able to review the company as a whole, but I will be able to review at least one of the lightsabers that they offer, so that's good. And kind of go from there. But once again, if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comment section down below. and I'll see you guys on the next video upload.